have the rental income go up. Once you find a good tenant, the house will start making you money every month. But real estate isn't the only cash-flowing asset. Publishing a book does the same thing. When people buy it, a portion of the money goes to you. Stocks that pay dividends are the same, but to a smaller degree. An e-commerce store can take orders and bring in money for you while you sleep. If you go to alux.com/sell before the day is over, you can have an e-commerce store up and running. Shopify was kind enough to support our channel and give the members of our community 14 days of pro tools for free. Everything you need to build a store is there, and they made it easy for you to do it. Just go to alux.com/sell. If you click in the top right corner, you'll find a list of assets that rich people use to grow their fortunes. Step 8. Use your work money to improve and solidify the income-generating asset. By this point, you probably managed to have a steady flow of income from your work, as well as your first cash flow generating asset. A common mistake people make is they try to diversify too early. Instead of putting all that money towards starting a third business, take a portion of your investment and see how much more value you can extract from your asset. If it's real estate, fix the roof or the windows. New paint, fix the garden. You know what to do to drive that rent up. For an e-commerce store, it's better design, better advertising, better content. Invest money in your cash flow generating asset to a point where it becomes a solid investment. Only then can you move on to something else. Do not spread yourself too thin. We've seen people screw up million-dollar businesses because they got distracted by a new shiny opportunity and forgot to take care of the thing that was putting food on the table. Don't make the same mistake they did. Step 9. Save money by investing in easy-to-liquidate assets that also increase in value. You're here because you're looking to never be poor again, right? A crucial part of this process is learning to save money. Look, we know that saving is not exactly a sexy topic, but rich people do it differently. They don't think about this money as savings. You're not saving money for a rainy day. That's what poor people do. You need to do what rich people do. They build an opportunity fund. This is money they set aside for, you guessed it, opportunities. The distinction right here is why the rich keep getting richer and the poor poorer. Let's say a great opportunity presents itself. Opportunities don't care who you are, they just are. Poor people don't have this money set aside, so they can't make use of the opportunity. Because of this, their financial status remains the same. Rich people, on the other hand, have the opportunity fund ready to go. When the opportunity presents itself, they're ready to play ball. Repeat this process a couple of times and you will never be poor again. Don't think of the opportunity fund consisting of a Nike shoebox where you throw in every $5 bill you get. No, even that money is parked in stocks through easy-to-liquidate brokers like Robinhood, Revolut, eToro, and so on. Why? Because your money should always be making babies. Don't allow your money to sit stagnant. It'll get bored with you and go to someone else who knows how to keep it moving. Step 10. Make investing in yourself a priority. Every bit of progress you've made in life up to this point is because you learned to do something that had value, either from someone who's done it before in the traditional way or through trial and error. You're consuming this piece of content right now because you're taking the process of investing in yourself seriously. But this is not enough. We know plenty of people who all they do is read books and attend conferences, yet they're not making any real progress. In order to make progress,
please go on a different street, go on a different road.
The word invest
please.
Means you have
Holy
to spend.
Shit.
Usually one of three things: time, effort, and money. Most likely you'll have to invest all three.
Thank God.
Looking to improve the quality of your work, you'll need better tools. These cost money and you'll be scared that they won't pay off. Once you buy them, you'll need to spend time and effort learning how to leverage them to be more productive. It's the same way with specialized knowledge. We're giving all of these fundamental principles away for free, so you don't have to pay for them. And they will serve you well your entire life. But maybe the problem you're facing requires specialized knowledge, or you're simply looking to accelerate your process. That's when you trade money for know-how. That's That's when you buy the better tool. That's when you enroll in a course that gets you up and running. That's literally what we've been doing with our course platform. We built it so you can download a valuable skill into your system as quickly and effectively as possible. Mind Mastery Meditation will teach you how to get control of your mind, deal with stress, and come up with creative ideas that have value in 21 days. Bitcoin Essentials teaches you everything you need to know to get started with Bitcoin. And Goal Mastery, which is coming in the next couple of weeks, teaches you how to effectively plan your year and goals so you achieve them. Remember, your life is cheap because you think investing in yourself is expensive. Step 11. Your effort pays for assets, and assets pay for your pleasure. Everything you earn outside of survival should go to assets. A common mistake that's keeping people poor is that even when they somehow manage to come into money, they consume it. They buy food, toys, clothes, TVs, or go on holidays when they shouldn't. There's a highly valuable lesson for you. Just because you have the money doesn't mean you can afford it. Take a moment and let that sink in until you actually understand it. You're playing the long game, right? Here's how the rich do it. Instead of drinking champagne now, even when it might be the last time you ever drink champagne, the rich drink water now until they can afford to drink champagne anytime they want. Every time you want to buy something for your pleasure, ask yourself, am I buying this with my time, or are my assets paying for it? If your assets aren't making you enough money to cover the cost of your desire, you can't afford it and you should get back to work. The only exchange that makes sense in the long run is to trade your time for assets until you no longer have to. Step 12. Find opportunities that pay for themselves. Poor people don't know this, but there are plenty of opportunities that pay for themselves. We know someone whose first investment was a townhouse. He was looking for a place to rent and saw the entire building was about to be put up for sale. Because he had good credit, something we discussed last Sunday, he was able to go to the bank and secure a loan with a minimum down payment. He moved into the new building and rented out the other apartments. His tenants were paying the mortgage for the entire building and then some. He now has additional money, lives rent-free, and every month he's building equity in the building. But this point does not apply exclusively to real estate. If you buy a new camera and you can use it to shoot photos for clients, it's just a matter of time until the camera pays for itself. From that point forward, the camera generates additional income. Not to toot our own horn, but people who purchased the Bitcoin Essentials course last year have made a ton of money because of the information they got out of it. So the course paid for itself 1,000-fold. Always look for opportunities that pay for themselves. Step 13. Reinvest all your profits to accelerate wealth creation. At this point, you're already doing well. One of our personal secrets to growth has been consistently reinvesting our money into our businesses. If you're young, you don't need much. You don't have many dependencies relying on you, so you can afford the luxury of reinvesting everything to give you a shot at wealth. The more you reinvest, the quicker you'll reach that point of financial stability. What's even better in most countries, reinvested profit isn't taxed, which means if you reinvest the money in the business, you get the financial benefits of your profit in its entirety without the state taking anything away from you. That's why Amazon isn't paying any tax. All the money they're making gets reinvested or billed as an expense. As a corporation, you get taxed on what's left when you subtract expenses from revenue. If these two are equal, meaning all the money is spent, there isn't anything left to pay tax on. This is also why most expensive cars you see are not owned by individuals. Instead, these are leased by the company these individuals own. It's basically all money chess, so you best learn the rules and figure out how to play. Step 14. Do not improve your lifestyle in proportion to your earnings. This is the biggest reason why people who escaped poverty go back to it. Fight the urge to play status games. Although you can afford it, there's no need to flex. We know your inner child is screaming to show those haters just how well you're doing and that you've proved them wrong. But a victory isn't final until the war is over, so don't screw this up. Continue to live below your means, considerably below your means, assuming you're now a person of means. Set rewards for yourself. Even today, if something costs 5% of what we're earning, we still set a target to increase our income by at least 10% before we buy it. That way, even after we purchase it, things are still on the positive growth path for us. It's easy to sabotage yourself by improving your lifestyle. Don't fall into this trap. Play the long game. Play to win. Step 15. Repeat everything until your assets out-earn your spending 3 to 1. It usually takes 3 years to go from poverty into the middle class if you're committed. It then takes 7 years to go from mediocrity to financial freedom, where financial freedom means you could stop working tomorrow and you can live off the work you've done for the rest of your life. People always expect things to move quicker than this, but for us, 7 years was a drop in the bucket. Don't be enamored by the illusion of get-rich-quick schemes or the fast-forward version of Hollywood Presents. Building wealth sustainably is a fairly boring process, at least in terms of the day-to-day. You have 1 or 2 big events per year and the rest is just disciplined effort. Do the right things for long enough and you'll eventually get yours. The retirement you're looking for has nothing to do with age. It has to do with freedom from money problems. Think of the ideal family life. You own a house, 2 cars, go to a couple of holidays, your kid's education is taken care of, as well as your health and hobbies. What if your assets earned 3 times as much money as your ideal life costs per year? All that additional capital could go towards supporting the things you love, or even more assets to safeguard your children's future. Even if something critical happened where your expenses would double because of an unforeseen event, you would still have enough money to be able to weather the storm. And that is what freedom is. That's when you know you'll never be poor or broke again. It all makes sense when you look at the full list, but we're curious to hear from you.
Presenting Kia's lineup of exceptionally capable, available all-wheel drive SUVs, backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Lease.
Our next one. We also made a special playlist with videos that build up on top of one another, which is linked in the description and in the top comment. As for those of you still watching, we couldn't be more thankful. You've earned yourself a special golden nugget. Go where you're treated best. This bonus is going to be a bit different, but it touches well onto the topic at hand. Too many people settle for too less. They stay in relationships they know are not good for them, either in romantic relationships or business relationships. If someone treats you poorly, why stick around just because it's a familiar harm? This is something that took us a while to understand and implement. You are always free to move, so move where you're treated best. If someone treats you poorly, you don't bow your head and accept it. You get up and leave. Do this a couple of times and life begins to look better. If you don't like the job you have, change it. If you don't like the bank you work with, change it.
Where would you like to go?
Gas station.
One option I found is GetGo Gas on Freeport Road. Where would you like to go?
Sheets.
One option is Sheets on Hulton Road in Plum. Starting route. Head east on Somerset Street. Starting route. Head east on Somerset Street.
Toward you, move away. There's nothing really keeping you tied to these toxic elements but your own choice of perpetual suffering. Because people will always pick a known suffering over the unknown. But why would suffering be part of your life in the first place? Hopes of change lock you into a cage of unhappiness until someone decides to open the door for you. The problem is, you're the one locking yourself in, but not actually holding the key. We want you to take this opportunity right now and reflect on the things that you choose to tie yourself to, despite which way they were different. You'll be shocked by what comes up. If you've made it this far, if today's video provided you with the tiniest bit of value, please write change in the comments and also like this video. It tells us that we're doing our job right.
Then turn right onto Cushing Street. Turn right onto Mount Pleasant Road.
Welcome to Fiona's Flowers. Business is blooming. They chose State Farm Small Business Insurance because their local agent is a small business owner too. So we're in their corner and on it. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Turn right onto Mount Pleasant Road.
There, are you looking to 10x what it is you're doing online right now? Or maybe you're just getting started online. Click that link down below and take you to a webinar. It's terrible. Absolutely. My mentor, I've been doing this for 16 years. He has mastered the craft and he puts together a system right in front of you, show you exactly what he's doing and how he's making all of his money.
Good for him.
Right onto Mount Pleasant Road.
What if we told you that every successful person out there has used very specific secrets to get to where they are in life? It doesn't matter if you're looking to get more money, find fame, find love, live a life of fulfillment by helping others. These secrets can be applied to absolutely anything you want to achieve in life, and they will dramatically improve your odds of success. We hate the word secret because it implies there is something hidden for most people that only the rich and successful are privy to. But by the end of this video, you'll understand that it's not the information, but the way these people use this information is what makes them get the results they want. The secret is using all of these 15 in your life together because they build on top of one another. That's why some people are able to do things in 5 years that would take others a lifetime. Welcome to alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you're not the next fast yet, you're missing out. Buckle up, for this is an immensely valuable video for those who have the ears to listen. Here are 15 secrets rich people use to get anything they want in life. Number 1, they constantly reevaluate themselves. Most people use a pretty simple way to know what their life is like. It's one of 3 scores: not good, meh or okayish. That's how most people evaluate their life holistically. The rich and successful do it differently, though. They break their lives down into 5 big pillars: intellect, money, relationships, health, and emotions. They take the time to see where they land on each one of these, individually and at a group level, where the group could be your family, your social circle, or your business. Unless you know in detail how well you're doing in every specific category, how are you supposed to know what to focus on? Most people bundle them all together and wish that somehow their life will magically fix itself. Rich and successful people reevaluate their lives every quarter. That's why businesses report how well they're doing quarterly as well. It allows you to make changes fast enough to improve results. Number 2, they focus on one objective at a time.
In 1.6
A while
miles,
ago, somebody put the idea of multitasking on a pedestal, and the entire world ran with it as if it were something from the gods themselves. The truth is, multitasking was a marketing ploy where companies, instead of hiring more people, decided that the same employee should be responsible for more than one task. That way, they could improve profit. Only employees multitask. The rich and successful choose one specific goal for every segment of their lives and put all of their efforts into it. Jeff Bezos made his life's purpose to make Amazon the biggest store in the world. That was his one focus. You might be thinking Elon Musk is a very good multitasker, but in reality, Elon only has one goal, and all of his companies work together toward that same goal, to make human life sustainable in the long term. Everything else is a subset of this goal. Every company he decides to build is another pillar supporting this one goal, and once the company is in place, other people are put in charge of making the smaller company sustainable. The more things you do, the shittier the quality of the outcome, and everybody successful knows this. That's why you have to put all of your energy into one medium-term goal, and every year set one different.
Here's how to cancel a subscription with Truebill. Open.
starting route. In a quarter mile, turn left onto
Fucking brick roads.
At the next light, turn left. At the next light, turn left.
Open the app.
Different goal that builds toward it. Number 3, they play long-term games. This is the curse of mediocrity. Everyone wants success, but it has to come quick, cheaply, and without sacrifice. Long-term games are quite literally the
At the
opposite
light,
of all
turn
these
left
three
onto Layton
characteristics.
Road.
The average person thinks quickly means in a couple of weeks. For the rich, quickly means in the next decade. The average person thinks cheaply means without spending money, while for the rich, cheaply means not having to trade all of their hours in a day. The average person doesn't want to sacrifice
In 3/4 of a
anything in order
mile,
to get something
turn
in return.
left onto Nelson
While the
Avenue.
rich know exactly what kind of sacrifice is required so the goal can be achieved. Every action you take daily will have effects over the long term. Buying and reading a book now can provide valuable information that will change the path of your life. A small investment in an emerging technology such as Bitcoin could have massive results in 20 to 30 years. Mediocre people think about how they can score a quick point in the game of life, while the rich are focusing on winning it all in the end. Number 4, they use specialized and updated tools and information. The average person spends a tremendous amount of time online exposing themselves to information. but the information they choose is bad or low value. They are consuming the equivalent of junk food in terms of content and entertainment. Why? Because eating healthier is more difficult than eating healthy food. And it's the same with content. Learning how
Turn
to
left
invest
onto
money,
Melbourne
how to
Avenue,
grow
then turn
happiness
right
in your
onto
life,
Frankstown
how to have
Road.
better relationships and friendships. It all takes work, time, and sometimes money. But that's why so very few people are successful.
Turn right onto Frankstown Road, then turn left into the parking lot.
In order to have an edge in this marketplace we call the world, you need to have new tools and new knowledge, both of which will require you to spend some money. Think in terms of traditional versus modern agriculture. While the average person is out there working the field by himself, the rich use technology to read weather patterns, use drones to see how their crops are doing, and
Turn left into the parking
machines to
lot, then
optimize
arrive
their
at your
results.
destination.
This is quite literally a race between someone running on foot versus someone in a Ferrari.
Arrived.
The one in the Ferrari will always win long distance. Figure out what you need to learn and then learn that. Figure out what... you can afford them. Number 5, they set goals in a unique way that allows them to achieve them. As of making this video, it's the end of February. Most people have already failed or are behind on their New Year's
Starting route.
resolutions they set out.
Proceed to Pennsylvania 130, then turn right.
Because for the normal person, a New Year's resolution resolution is just a wish they set out into the universe and pray that the universe
Turn right onto Pennsylvania 130. Then take a sharp left turn onto Frankstown Road.
System of setting goals. For the past 10 years, we've done the same, and the results are by far superior. They build what is known as goal pyramids, where the big goal sits at the top of the pyramid and everything else is broken down into smaller supporting goals until you get to
In
the
1
bottom
mile,
of the
turn
pyramid
right
where you
onto
have your
Lime Hollow
weekly
Road.
goals. Normal people struggle with procrastination because they lack an effective calendar which allows them to get the important things done quickly and without needing much motivation. Normal people don't know how to use the domino method in order to achieve big goals by building stepping stones that open them up to bigger and better things. We've been studying successful people for our entire adult life. We've read every book on success and goal setting out there, and for the past 10 years, we've tried it all. At the end, a lot of it was bullshit, but there were a few things that worked consistently. We took everything we learned about how to set and successfully achieve any goal you have and put it into what we consider to be the best product we've ever put out. It's called Goal Mastery, and it's available for purchase starting today at goalsbyalux.com. This course will be your digital mentor to help you find the specific goals you need to set and what you need to do to achieve them. You've never gone after your goals the way you're going to learn to. Go to goalsbyalux.com right now and use the promo code
Turn right onto Lime
for
Hollow Road.
$100 off. We're closing the door in 7 days. Now, it's your call if you want to remain the same or make the investment and see what happens. Here's the deal. We believe this will be such a game changer for you.
In
If you don't
1.2
feel like
miles,
your
turn
money's
right
worth,
onto
we'll
Lime Hollow
provide you
Road.
with a full refund under our 60-day guarantee. No questions asked. You literally have nothing to lose. Just make the investment and put in the work.
It's just a quarter, right? But what if Acorns automatically invested that quarter every time you bought coffee for a month? What about a year? 10 years? And what about the change from food, movies, parking, gas? What about the change from everything you buy? And what if Acorns invested it all into a diversified portfolio, giving your investments a chance to grow? What if you didn't have to change your life to change your life? Then it's not just a quarter, is it?
Presenting Kia's turbo-infused Sport Tune GT lineup, backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Lease a new 2021 Forte LXS for $159 a month.
See you on the inside, Aluxers. Number 6. They have friends who specialize in different fields that have a common purpose. A big secret successful people use is building networks of other successful people, or at least of individuals that have the same goals as they do. If you're over 25 and your friends don't talk about investing, about the future, about building, and they all talk about
At the
partying,
stop sign,
playing
turn
about
right
money and the
onto
good
Lime
old
Hollow
days,
Road.
you need to level up your inner circle. Do you realize just how powerful it is to be able to pick up a phone and somebody provide you the answer to a problem you're dealing with? Just how much money and time it saves? Not to mention that these people bring you in on deals and help you accelerate your growth because you do the same for them. Their friends are smart and
At the next
specialized.
light,
They
turn
do
right.
incredible things in their own fields, and all of them are pushing hard for similar goals. This is a massive competitive advantage. Number 7. They don't quit until they get what they want. Most people don't even try. Out of the rest,
At the
a very
light,
good
turn
portion
right onto
try
Frankstown
just a
Road.
little bit, figure out it's too hard, and give up. That's why the rich are called the 1%, because the remaining 99% are not able to do what they're doing.
In a quarter mile, arrive at your
If this is the
destination.
life you choose for yourself, how are you supposed to give up after 1 year, 2 years, or even 5 years? It's mind-boggling to us. If this is what you want to do, you know that long-term it'll be the best outcome for yourself and everybody you care about. Then just keep pushing. Figure out how to survive the shitty part of the journey and keep putting that one foot in front of the other. As long as you've got breath in your lungs, do not quit.
Arrive at your destination.
While normal people keep trying
Arrive.
the same thing over and over again and expect different results, When we say keep going and never give up, this refers to keep learning and improving. Every time you try with new knowledge, with more understanding of the process, and every single time your odds of success improve. The best thing is, you only need to break through the wall once for your life to dramatically change. That's
Starting route. Head northeast on Frankstown Road, then turn right onto
to
Rhode
invest
Road.
in yourself, in your tools, and to not give up. It's just a matter of not quitting before your time is right. Number 8, they invest first and spend the interest. This has been one of the biggest financial hacks we've learned early on in our journey, and it's paid off big time. Let's say you want to go on a holiday or splurge on a product that is fairly expensive. Before you pay for it,
At
you
the
have to
height,
make a
turn right
large enough
onto Rhode
investment
Road.
that the outcome pays for your purchase. As a rule of thumb, if you can't afford the investment where the interest pays for the product you want, you
In
can't afford the
1.8
product.
miles, keep right onto
Love
Rhode
traveling,
Road
which
toward
is
Business
why we
US
have a
Route
travel
22.
investment portfolio. We want to travel a lot, so we have to keep putting money into that travel portfolio. The interest we make on that portfolio pays for our luxury trips. Normal people earn a salary and then go to the Apple store and spend it on the new iPhone. When you leave the store, your wallet is empty. Compare that with our position. When we come back from our holiday, we have more money than we had when we left because the portfolio keeps making money for us. A simple example is, let's say you want to buy a new car. Buy a rental property first and allow the rent to pay for the lease on the car. This change of thinking, the idea of having different portfolios for your splurges in life, is a game changer which will allow you to grow wealth in depth. Definitely. Number 9, negotiate absolutely everything. This is why some people think the rich are cheap. They keep negotiating things everywhere they go. Why? Because the extra 10 to 15% they negotiate gets to be reinvested in the portfolios we mentioned earlier. 10% doesn't sound like much, but when you factor it in over long periods of time, you're leaving a lot of money on the table, especially if you can get a good price on large purchases. An important rule we learned from a very rich real estate investor is, the profit is always made at the point of purchase. If you're hoping that prices will go up, you're basically gambling. But if you can purchase
In 1 mile,
below
keep
market
right onto
value,
Rhode Road
that's
toward Business US
wealth
Route
you're
22.
bringing into your life. You see, Alexers, reality really is negotiable, but most people don't know how to negotiate a better reality for themselves. Number 10, they invest a lot in their own growth. Listen to us very carefully. Nobody can take away what you have inside your mind. Your mind and your ability to use it is the most valuable asset you have. If you use it right, you'll get everything you want in life. Every good thing in your life right now is the result of good decisions you've made in the past. And the best thing is, you can develop your mind the same way you would improve the value of a house. Only you don't do it with new kitchen floors, but with new knowledge and insights. That's why rich people read so damn much. They're looking for money and happiness between the pages of the books they read. And more often than not, they find it again and again. They pay fortunes to spend time with even more successful people than they are, just so they can peek into their brains and extract valuable knowledge from them. From this day forward, think of yourself as a business. If you want your business to grow, you need to invest in that business. You need tools, you need knowledge, you need better marketing, and so on. You are a business, but you don't know it yet. The reason why you as a business have not grown fast enough is because you failed to
Use the
invest
right
in
lane to
yourself.
keep right onto
Look back
Rye
at your
Road.
previous
Business
years
route
and ask
22.
yourself, how much money did I actually invest in myself as a business? You'll find it probably wasn't that
Keep
much.
right.
There's
Then turn
even
left
another
onto
layer to
McCready
this.
Road.
If you actually do own a
Turn
business,
left onto McCready
investing
Road.
in yourself
Then turn
is
right
a
onto
tax
Ridgewood
deductible.
Drive.
Take our goal mastery course, for example. Let's say you go to goalsbyalux.com right now and decide to spend $499 on the course. This money is seen as an investment by the government, so you don't pay the money in tax. Instead of giving this money to the government, not only are you giving
Turn
this money
right
to
onto
yourself,
Ridgewood Drive.
but you're investing in something that will provide recurring value to your life for years to come.
In a quarter mile, the destination is on your left.
They develop good judgment over years of trial and error. Number 11. Number 11. Number 11.
Can I go to number
They
10?
develop- Number 11.
Number
They develop good judgment over years of trial and error. Your ability to
The destination is on your left. Arrived.
This one's also a Frank's 10, so. Good deal, good deal. Wombo combo. 2 orders, different apps, same street. I'll take it.
Number 10. They invest a lot in their own growth. Listen to us very carefully. Nobody can take away what you have inside your mind. Your mind and your ability to use it is the most valuable asset you have. If you use it right, you'll get everything you want in life. Every
At the
good
next
thing in
stop
your life
sign,
right now is
turn
the
left.
result of good decisions you've made in the past. And the best thing is, you can develop your mind the same way you would improve the value of a house. Only you don't do it with new kitchen floors, but with new knowledge and insights. That's why rich people read so damn much. They're looking for
At the
money
stop sign, turn left onto Grady Road, then turn right onto Rodi Road.
They find it again and again. They pay fortunes to spend time with even more successful people than they are, just so they can peek into their brains and
At the stop
extract
sign,
valuable
turn
knowledge.
right onto Rodi Road.
From this day forward, think of yourself as a business. If you want your business to grow, you need to invest in that business. You need tools, you need knowledge, you need better marketing, and so on. You are a business, but you don't know it yet. The reason why you as a business have not grown fast enough is because you failed to invest in yourself. Look back at your previous years and ask yourself, how much money did I actually invest in myself as a business? You'll find it probably wasn't that much. There's even another layer to this. If you actually do own a business, investing in yourself is a tax deductible. Take our Goal Mastery course, for example. Let's say you go to goalsbyalux.com right now and decide to spend $499 on the course. This money is seen as an investment by the government, so you don't pay the money in tax. Instead of giving this money to the government, not only are you giving this money to yourself, but you're investing in something that will provide recurring value to your life for years to come. $500 is nothing for a business. That's why you see rich people spending tens of thousands of dollars on similar coaching sessions. It's the businesses they own that are paying for it, and it's they themselves who are reaping the benefits. Number 11, they develop good judgment over years of trial and error. Your ability to develop good judgment is what will make or break you. Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and the likes of them are so successful because of their ability to make good decisions. The richer you are, the more is at stake with every decision you make, so developing good judgment is key. If you're very good at making decisions, people will even trust you with their money to make decisions for them. That's quite literally how the entire hedge fund industry works. People respect those who have good judgment and elevate them to positions of power. If you can improve your decision-making process by just 5% a year, in less than 10 years, you'll get everything you want in life, because even slightly better decisions end up with incredible long-term outcomes. Picking the right life partner, deciding to quit a job and start a business, picking your friends, making an investment or not are just a few examples that depend on decisions but carry outcomes over decades. Number 12. The money is there to buy you time so you can think. A big secret rich people use to get everything they want in life is they make it a priority to give themselves time to think. Their decision making is so good and the type of decisions they make have such large impacts, they need to consider it all carefully. The average person gets home from a job and completely disconnects, be it with Netflix, food, sports, or video games. Successful people work hard so they can take the time to work on the future by thinking and strategizing about it. That's why we're all so damn stressed all the time. We're constantly thinking about the future. Here's the golden nugget you're looking for. The mind cannot create new value if it's already busy with something else. Very few people take thinking seriously. We spend a lot of money to get as far away from our office as possible just to give us a better thinking outcome. Because when we come back, a single idea or decision we've come across on our journey could be worth millions. That's why you see successful people spend tremendous amounts of money in remote rooms. They're not paying for the hotel buffet. Instead, they're paying for their ability to think freely. Number 13. They break life down and look behind the scenes.
would you like to go?
Fun Asian Bistro.
Getting directions to Fun Asian Bistro.
Fun Asian Bistro. Asian Bistro, so fun. Fun Asian Bistro, funnest place ever. Bus is blocking my way to Fun Asian Bistro. Why are you blocking my fun? I just want to have fun. Not a fan of this turn. Oh, this place is so fun. Oof. This one first.
The more you study the way the world works, the better understanding you have of what's happening behind the scenes. You get to a point where you can look at any business and understand how it operates. You look deeply at yourself and understand why you act in certain ways. The more you understand the world, the more obvious the outcome is. Once you look at the source code, it's pretty easy to do anything in life. You simply follow the tutorial. We use the word education a lot, but people confuse that for a degree. Education is what you're left with once the degree is out of the way. It's what you're able to learn about the world that has value. Good luck memorizing the name of every river in your country. It will not help you pay the rent. The more educated you are, the more you're able to break society down and then navigate it. Number 14. Every single day they do something that gets them closer to their goals. The thing is, it's not enough to not quit. We've used this metaphor before, but it's so good we're gonna repeat it. You don't start with a complete wall. You start with one brick. You pick it up and place it as perfectly as the brick can be laid. The next day you pick up another brick and do the same. Brick by brick, day by day. You have the idea of the final wall in your mind. You know where it needs to go and the shape of it, but your actions are focused on the brick itself. Time goes by, and when you step back, you realize you finished the wall you set out to build. Successful people become successful because they focus on that daily brick. Not a day goes by without them adding one brick to their wall. As you go through life, ask yourself, what is one thing I can do today that builds toward my wall? And then do not let a single day pass without putting that brick in its place. Number 15. They study other successful people and steal skill sets and know. We're not created equally, but if someone managed to do it, it sets a precedent that it is possible to do it. People thought a 4-minute mile was physically impossible to run. Nobody has managed to do it ever. Then one day a lad by the name of Roger Bannister comes along and does it. The entire world watched in silence. Something they believed was impossible was just proven otherwise by this individual right here. In the next few years, tens of other runners broke the 4-minute mile. It was a psychological barrier that couldn't be overcome until someone did it. We look at other successful people the same way these runners looked at Roger breaking the record. Now we know it's possible. It's just a matter of putting in the work and breaking down how he got to that kind of performance. But one thing we know for sure, it can be done. Every successful person out there has a plethora of other successful people they look up to, that they study, they analyze, and try to emulate what they're doing, because it's obviously working. If you train like Roger, you might not be able to break the 4-minute mile, but you're sure as hell about to improve your performance. Now, who else is giving this much value out for free? If our free content is this good, just think of how amazing our paid products are. Every single one of the things we mentioned in this episode will have a long-term positive effect in your life, and we're curious to know, which of these secrets do you believe will have an immediate impact on your life? Let us know in the comments. And as for those of you still watching these videos until the very end, you're about to earn a reward. Here's your bonus. They use the ALUX method to get everything they want faster. In our journey, we've developed a system that allows us to create cycles of growth. It just so happens that the 4 steps involved align perfectly with our brand name, so of course we've decided to take it for ourselves. We call it the ALUX method, and every 2 years we use it to break through a higher level in our lives. The ALUX method stands for 4 things. A, analyze. L, learn. U, utilize. X, multiply. You begin by analyzing your life and comparing it with the life of someone you look up to in order to figure out what they do differently. Then you learn the skills you're missing. This takes a while, but fortunately for you, we live in the best period of information in human history. The 3rd step is putting this new skill to work. This is where you see the fruits of your hard work come into play. Once you begin to see results, you become addicted. This is when the last step comes in. Multiply or expand. You push this new skill to the absolute limit. The ALUX method is what's allowed us to jump from one industry into another and has brought forward the big leaps in our journey. In Goal Mastery, the advanced and broken down version of the ALUX method is the first thing you learn as a beginner to advanced goal setting, and it only gets more interesting from that point on. Since you're still watching this video right now, we want to thank you for your continuous support and give you a secret discount code. Use the promo code 150OFF and you're going to get a 30% discount on Goal Mastery, paying $349. The $150 is our gift back to you, so use it wisely. For those of you who made it to this point of the video, please write the initials GM in the comment section. That way we know that you're about to master your personal goals. Thanks for watching, ALUXers. We always value your thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more great videos.
I like to put my money into things that move the culture forward.
not successful yet, or at least not to the degree you really want to be. By the end of this Sunday motivational video, you will finally understand why that is and what needs to change for you to get there. Here at ALUX, we represent intelligent individuals who, despite growing up under harsh conditions, have taken their future into their own hands. We know you're one of them. That's why you subscribe to our channel. Welcome to ALUX.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you're not subscribed yet, you're missing out. We will hold no punches. We will call you out on your bullshit, and hopefully this will be a stepping stone for the both of us. Here are 15 reasons why it's taking so long to succeed in life. Number 1, you overestimate where you are in your timeline. Success is not around the corner. Success is at the end of this highway you're on. You probably expect it to come sooner than it's meant to happen. Here's the mistake people make. You expect the target to come to you sooner instead of increasing the speed you go toward it. The more you learn about the world, the clearer it becomes just how far you still have to go. Don't focus on time. Instead, focus on how fast you're able to move. Time flows the same for everyone, but we don't move through it at the same pace. This is the breakthrough you're looking for. This is what other people manage to do in a single year 3 to 5 times more than everyone else. This is why you're left behind by so many of your classmates. You're simply not moving the same way. Take your timeline by taking control of how fast you move. Number 2, you fail to build a team and the systems required to accelerate the process. You're just doing everything yourself because you know how to do it best, don't you? Your entire life changes the moment you realize that even at your full capacity, you cannot hold this rhythm for long enough to let you win. The sooner you get this brutal wake-up call, the sooner you'll realize the importance of bringing people in on your journey. No matter how brilliant you are, long-term, you will lose out on those competing as a team. Working together as a team is a completely different beast than working alone. Trusting other people to deliver on their promises is just as important. Here's the golden rule of working in teams. Just do what you said you'll do. This builds predictability, and predictability allows you to build self-sustaining systems. If the people you choose care about the destination just as much as you do, they'll work on improving those systems on your behalf. It'll take some time, but once you all click in together, you'll be unstoppable, and the growth will be exponential. Number 3, you don't know how to use other people's money to make yourself rich. This is the difference between people who climb 2 to 3 steps at a time on the wealth ladder versus those who climb up 1 step at a time. And it's not just other people's money, it's other people's know-how, other people's connections, other people's businesses, and more. You're too much of a lone wolf, and that's fine if you're hunting rabbits or squirrels, but if you want to take down the woolly mammoth, you'll need new tools and a pack to hunt together. You'll need to learn how to be strategic, how to corner it, and how to go in for the kill. The more you think about this metaphor, the more you'll understand your current limitations. Other people's money allows you to build wealth 10 times faster. Learn how to use banks. Learn how to pitch to investors. Learn to use crowdfunding. Tokenize your project if you have to. The problem of using your own money is there's always a limit to your ability to finance your growth. Allow other people to take some of that risk and let them reap some of the rewards alongside you. Number 4, you're not hanging out with the right people. We're not talking about people who can open doors for you, although that definitely helps, but about people who are so committed and focused on their journey that they inspire you to push even harder on yours. When you're in the presence of greatness, of success, of visionaries, some of their aura rubs off onto you. Without some of our mentors, we wouldn't have been able to dream as big as we're doing right now. Watching them move, hearing them articulate their own vision, brute forces your mind to shift gears and think in a way you haven't before. It's always bigger in terms of impact, in terms of the amount of action, and the size of the true end goal. We love Reid Hoffman, the founder of LinkedIn, and he has a phenomenal quote that says, "The fastest way to change is to hang out with people who already are what you want to become." Your main problem right now, believe it or not, is you're unable to think big enough. Even if you say you do think big enough, you have no idea how to connect the dots from your present to this imagined future. Number 5, Because you haven't set, followed, and tracked your goals properly. Speaking of thinking big and setting big goals, you go through life in this general direction in which you want to go, but don't structure it enough for it to become a process. You're like someone lost in the woods. You know that if you just keep heading north, you'll eventually get out. Well, those super successful individuals have a different strategy. They have a GPS, they keep track of the time, they check the weather, they create a progress calendar in order to have a predictable time frame of getting out of the woods and into the promised land. 90% of the population has dreams and wishes. 10% of the population has goals for their life. But only 1% actually has a plan to hit those goals. That's why you look at them in awe. There's a way to deconstruct goals in such a way that it makes them achievable in a shorter time frame than you expect. Everything we've ever achieved has been the result of this unique framework that we've perfected for ourselves. Earlier this year, we opened the doors for 7 days only to what we consider to be the absolute best goal-setting course available because we built it from scratch the way it needed to be. The premium experience is called Goal Mastery, and there's a waiting list available if you go to alax.com/goals. We plan to reopen Goal Mastery this Black Friday once again for a limited period of time. So get on that waiting list because you're about to miss the opportunity the same way you did last time. Go to alax.com/goals.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car. Okay, you ready? All right, 108.
And join the waiting list right now. Number 6. You lack the discipline to move the needle every single day. This video is about why you're not successful yet. The secret is in the things you do every day that get you one step closer to your target. You know how you feel. You know you're tired, exhausted, and burned out. Learn to rest. Learn to focus on the other parts of the process, but keep that process going. People hit this inflection point where they just want to burn it all to the ground and quit. But what you don't see is the progress you've made versus where you started. The more you zoom out, the more you realize just how far you've actually come. Your life is better today because of the little things, of the small actions, because of the days where you didn't feel like putting in the work and still did something to move that needle. The biggest secret to our long-term growth has been the commitment to action. Once we say we're going to do something, we never stop unless it's the fundamentals that have radically changed. That's why even to this day, we post 1 video per day on our channel. Number 7, you're not focused. Or better said, you're easily distracted. The world is abundant with opportunity, but you've only got so much brain power to go around. In business, this is called opportunity cost. The more time you spend on something else, the less time you invest into what actually matters. Find the thing that will probably have the highest impact for your life and make that your guiding light. Put on your horse blinders and go after that one thing relentlessly. Everything you consume, every action you take should be congruent with that one thing, because that's what's actually going to change your life. Number 8, you're not in the physical proximity of success. Did you know there was such a thing as physical proximity to success? Statistically, you're more likely to become a billionaire if you're in Silicon Valley, US, rather than Manipur, India. Just to give an example, physical proximity allows for deals to flow and the opportunity to run into people who can be an active part in your growth process. Please remember this. The closer you are to the money, the more likely you are to make money. Hang out with rich people and you will eventually be rich. Hang around market makers and you'll take advantage of the market. Number 9, you're not yet the person worthy of success. And what we mean by this is you don't yet have the skills required to achieve the tasks you set out for yourself. But that's okay because it's all part of the process. Very much like a video game, you need to build up your inventory of tools and experience so you can move on to the next level. You think you're ready, but the upcoming boss fight would prove most painful. Not yet putting you in front of the perfect opportunity is life's way of not squandering it away. It's waiting for you to be ready. What tools are you missing? What's missing from your puzzle? In the ideal situation, what would your team be able to do to get you to that next level? Build those skills or hire people who already have them. That's it. Now you know. Number 10. You don't expose yourself to enough inspiring information. We believe in this idea of micro-learning, the notion of constant consumption of valuable information that stacks up throughout your life. This idea of getting any percent better every single day has proven to be the most effective way to get high returns in life. Knowledge compounds over time, and you never know where that one piece of information that you're missing might come from. One idea from an audiobook, a course, or a piece of advice from a mentor could be the click that you need. And not to spoil anything, but we think we figured out a way to deliver on that kind of concentrated value on a consistent basis. We've been building everything behind closed doors for over a year now, and you're closing in on a launch date. It's going to be hundreds of times more valuable than our courses at a fractional price, so everyone can afford it. It'll be a game changer for the both of us. We'll keep you posted. Number 11. You're invested in passive income instead of capital gains. The biggest mistake newbie entrepreneurs make is they think early in the game you should focus on passive income. That's wrong. If you're early in your journey, the focus should be on capital gains. Pay attention because this is important. If you've got $25,000, that's nowhere near enough to build passive income with. You might use it as a down payment on a house, rent it out, and have the renter cover the mortgage. If you do all the math, you track the expenses, you're left with about $200 a month in passive income. And that's nice. You've got a stream of income in building equity in the property, but that's not life-changing. $200 extra per month will not be the shift you're looking for. At this stage of the game, instead of using that initial capital to build passive income, you need to find ways to turn the $25K into $250K. This is the challenge you have right now. It's not that you don't have enough passive income. Your problem is you don't have enough money to buy the passive income sources. Pay close attention to this important distinction. The sooner you figure out your capital gains game, the sooner you can move into the passive income sources. But it won't work unless you find ways to consistently increase your income. Number 12. You're not embracing enough risk and playing it safe. This one builds on the previous point. You're disappointed that you're not successful yet, or that it's taking far longer than expected to get there, but you've been scared of the risk. You're scared of taking the kind of risk that gives you higher rewards. Maybe it's because you're not confident in your ability, which is why you need to invest in yourself first. Maybe it's because you're scared you're going to lose everything you've built, which leads us to believe you got to this point through luck or things outside of your control. A massive wake-up call came into our lives when we realized that if everything went away, our mind and everything we've learned is our biggest asset. Nobody can take away what you know. Of course, it would suck having all your hard work swept away by this imaginary demon you project into the universe you live in, but everything around you is replaceable. It's just things and people you've met at one point in your life. You can build another team. You can get new tools. You can find new customers and build new products or services for them. Once this revelation happens, your attitude toward risk dramatically changes, and you're free to pursue higher rewards.
Justice for you begins with us at Prabanic and...
Number 13. Nobody knows who you are and what you do. Let's be honest, no matter how good you think you are as a product or service provider, if nobody knows who you are,
What is that road? Riddick Drive. Oh, there it is.
they won't be able to buy from you or give you the credit you deserve. It doesn't matter if you're the smartest person to ever live. If you spend your entire life in a cave not sharing your knowledge with the world, it's already fading. If you don't share your gift with the world, you're doing everyone a disservice, including yourself. If you're wondering why you're not successful yet, the most likely answer is you have an awareness issue. If what you deliver is actually as good as you claim it to be, then it's just a matter of getting in front of as many people that need what you provide. If it's actually valuable, they'll buy it. They'll tell their friends. They'll speak highly of the service you provided to them and how much you helped. People can't buy from you if they don't know you exist. Number 14. You're being busy without being productive. If you know what to do, do. If you don't know what to do, learn. There's two types of work. One that moves you closer to your goal, and one that keeps things stable. If you're not making progress towards your goals, it might be because you're spending too much time doing only maintenance work. Yes, the engine is running, but unless you put the car in drive and grab a hold of the steering wheel, you're not going to get very far. Learn to tell the difference between being busy and being productive, and your entire perspective on what needs to happen will change. Number 15. You're actually scared of success and losing yourself in the process. As outrageous as that might sound, it's actually true. As individuals, we're scared of progress. We're scared of...
This is 180. Can't tell if this is it. I think this is it.
to Gamma Drive, then turn right. Turn right onto Gamma Drive, then take a slight left turn to merge onto Pennsylvania Route 28 South.
Of leveling up because it means
Take a
effort.
slight
It
left
means
turn to
hard
merge
work
onto
is ahead of
Pennsylvania
us.
Route
It means
28
we have to go into battle and conquer whatever comes at us, and we know going into battle is dangerous. There's this pre-installed piece of software within you that's there to keep you out of danger. Why do you want to change anything when we're safe right now? We might not be doing that well, but at least we're not in danger. That's what the voice in your head says. In order to make the jump, you have to become someone else. You keep the good, strip away the bad, and evolve into the next stage of your identity. You're not switching, you're not changing your core. You become something better. When the desire for more overcomes the fear of the unknown, you evolve. The true test is realizing which one of these 15 actually plays the biggest role in your life right now and deciding to do something about it. In a test of honesty, we ask you, which of these 15 reasons is the main one holding you back? You got here because you are looking for answers, and if you found them, like this video and come back to rewatch it every time you feel like your life has hit a plateau. And as for those of you who stuck with us until the very end, of course, there's a bonus waiting for you. Ask yourself, what's your superpower? And then bet everything on it. The jump you're looking for lies in your unique ability to do something. Everything you've learned up to this point, everything you've been through, everything you've seen, heard, and tasted contributed to a unique cocktail that is you. Put that authenticity to work and you'll end up successful sooner than you think. Nobody can compete with you when the game you're playing is being yourself. Nobody can be a better you than you are. Be yourself. Focus on the superpower of being you, and it'll prove to be the highest competitive advantage you can find. It's the leverage that's missing. Yes, put your name out there.
In a
Assume
quarter
risk
mile,
under
turn
your
right.
own name. Show everyone who you are, and you will be rewarded. At one point, you'll wake up and realize just how much of an opportunity being you is, and you'll kick yourself for not making the most of it sooner. If you're ready to use your superpower for good, please
Then turn
write
right.
hero in the comments. You're the hero in your journey. Build a better tomorrow for you and the ones you care about.
Turn right, then arrive at your destination.
Yes, wait, what am I here? Five Guys? Is there Five Guys here? It's over here.
Starting route. Proceed to the route, then arrive at your destination. Turn right, then turn right. Turn right.
Might gotta be my last one, then I go home.
Then turn right.
"15 sacrifices you need to make if you want to be rich." Welcome to alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello, Aluxers. We're back with another truthful and blunt video. So strap in, because we're going to break apart more than a few of the politically correct ideologies that people have been spreading around for decades. In this video, we'll be looking at reality, not wishful thinking. We recommend rewatching this video at least once every month in order to not lose track of what it takes. The truth is, in order to get rich or super successful, there are plenty of sacrifices to be made. Success or riches always come at a cost, and if you're on your journey to getting them for yourself, it's best to be aware of these and plan accordingly. Getting rich is not for everyone. You're free to live a mediocre life if that's what you want. We're not going to pretend that life is filled with rainbows and sunshine, because it isn't. Hopefully at the end of this video, when you look at someone who's incredibly successful or rich, you'll give it a second thought and think of the sacrifices he or she made to get where they are today. If you're one of those easily offendable types, and this is the first video you're watching on our channel, well, this is your cue to close the video and go watch something else. You know what? I hear YouTube has lots of cute animal videos too. Now, the following list is based on the average reality of multiple multi-millionaires and billionaires from multiple countries and cultures, aggregated into a single list that makes it easy for you Aluxers to go through and get yourselves ready for the future. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Alux. We're not saying that in order to get rich you'll need to make all of these sacrifices. What we're saying is, there isn't a single individual who made it big without making at least some of these sacrifices to get to where they are today. With that said, here are 15 things people sacrifice in order to get rich. Number 1, family. We wanted to start with family because this is the last thing people want to hear that they have to sacrifice. Many successful individuals postpone starting a family for a later date. They start one only after they have accumulated success. This is probably one of the most important sacrifices one makes in order to be rich. The road to financial success demands so much focus and effort put into it that it would be almost impossible to achieve the same level of greatness if you're being sidetracked by personal feelings. That's just the truth. Successful people don't get married early on, almost never in their 20s, and for sure they don't have children as soon as the rest. We've touched upon this in the past, how having a kid early on is pretty much financial suicide, trapping you into the rat race. In order for you to acquire wealth, the process needs your undivided attention. The moment one has a child, that child immediately becomes the focus point and everything else falls behind, as it should be. A third aspect that gets sacrificed is the relationship with your family. Parents and siblings require time, effort, and sometimes financial resources as well, all which you are not in a position to spare in the beginning stages of your journey, if you're serious about getting rich. It sucks to say that you won't be available for your relatives, that you're not going to focus on building a family for yourself at this stage of your life, and that you'll postpone having a child. But this is one of the harshest realities of which most rich and successful individuals sacrifice in order to get there. Number 2, health. We've always mentioned health as one of the most important ingredients to a successful life, but this video focuses on getting rich. The paradox is that most people sacrifice health in order to get money, and then sacrifice the money in order to regain their health. We'd all like to believe in the iconic image of the entrepreneur, working 16 hours per day, hitting the gym for 2 more hours, eating kale and meditating for at least 1 hour in the morning. But the truth is, the road to riches will take a toll on your health. The most common feeling is that of tiredness, because most individuals have difficulty falling asleep. The goal keeps you up at night. There are worries to consider, and everything depends on your ability to manage them. Entrepreneurs live with a tremendous amount of stress in their lives. They usually
I
neglect their
disagree. If
health in
you-
the pursuit of success. Number 3.
If your health goes down, the rest goes down with
There's
it.
very little room for a social life when you really want to be rich. One of the
Makes you sluggish and everything else,
At the next light, turn right.
first
especially mental health.
things you should sacrifice if you want to make it is the people around you who are not pushing you further. Cutting down on the toxic individuals is a must, then followed by those who are not actively making you better. It's fairly common for successful people to dramatically reduce their inner circle with a focus on the quality of the individuals. The average future millionaire has 1.8 close friends, and they themselves are also focused on getting rich. That way they can push each other further along the way.
In 1 mile,
Need
turn
people
right
who can
onto
relate to your
Woodland
struggles
Boulevard.
and that can understand why you're putting in that level of effort. Nobody else will understand, with the exception of individuals who they themselves are doing the same thing. If you really want to make it, your inner circle should decrease in size, but increase in value. Number 4, hobbies. Ain't nobody got time for that. Hobbies, by their nature, produce very little value to both yourself and your immediate environment. Not only that, in order to maintain a hobby, it demands time, attention, and most of the time, financial resources as well. If you want to be rich and you're not where you want to be in life, you can't afford to have a hobby. That's the truth. You can go golfing, paint landscapes, or whatever you find worthy of calling your hobby after you've taken care of the basics. Why do you have a hobby when you can't take care of yourself? Hobbies should be the last thing on your mind. Number 5, time. The road from zero to financial success will take an average of 7 to 10 years, depending on the industry, your emotional intelligence, your intellect, your ability to play the market, and the volume of work you're able to put out in order to make it happen. Guess what? The days you spend at your computer or negotiating with clients are probably not going to be the best years of your life, but it's a sacrifice one needs to make if they're serious about getting rich, because it's that time that yields the results you're looking for. 7 years might sound like a lot of time, and it doesn't mean that those years will lack any positive memories. Time will pass either way, so make sure to invest it wisely. Ask yourself the following question. Are you willing to eat shit for several years in order to eat caviar for the rest of your life? If the answer is yes, you're on the right track. Number 6, happiness. Happiness is a big one, because as you know, money can't buy you happiness at the end. But in order to get money, you will need to sacrifice your happiness to a certain degree. Even if you love what you do, nobody is happy working 14 to 16-hour days every single day. That's not how evolution made us. So there needs to be a balance to the amount of happiness you're willing to sacrifice in exchange for material gain. If you sacrifice too much, you might not be able to cope with your new reality. Now, this video is not a to-do list. It's just a frank observation of reality, and you should treat it as such. Sacrificing your happiness at this stage will result in you being able to enjoy different types of happiness in the future, like being able to spend quality time with your child when the time is right, because you won't have to worry about paying the freaking bills. That's a trade that you should be willing to make. Number 7, sleep. You can't sleep. Broke people sleep. You gotta be willing to sacrifice sleep. If you sleep, you may miss the opportunity to be successful. That's an interesting quote, isn't it? When we started our Instagram account, shameless plug here, go follow us at ALUX to get your dose of motivation there. We showed a picture with the text, "Sleep is for billionaires." In the recent years, people are split on this topic. You've got people like Elon Musk who sleep the absolute minimum amount required to get him to function. And then there are people like Arianna Huffington. She's the founder of Huffington Post, for those of you who don't know who she is. That says sleeping more results in higher productivity and nobody should cut down on sleep. If you draw the line and look at this objectively, sleeping less is an amazing advantage if you make quality use of the time while you're awake. There's no point in sleeping 5 hours a night if you're only going to be working 8 hours during the day. Sleep is the first thing everyone should sacrifice when they begin their journey. 6 hours of sleep per night is really manageable, and you can fit a lot more work during the day. Start with sleep. Number 8, who you are. If you want to be rich, if you want to be successful, you need to sacrifice who you are in order to become who you want to be. It's smart to think of yourself in terms of a work in progress, similar to a software. This is your current version, but don't be afraid to make updates, fix bugs, and reiterate what makes you, you. Your current reality didn't make you rich. The current version of yourself wasn't able to solve the puzzles needed to further your achievements from a financial standpoint, so you need to do something about it. Evaluate who you really are. What are the things that set you back? What are the things that the current version of yourself failed to do? Then seek ways to transform yourself in that department. An easy aspect to point out is discipline. If you lack discipline, you're probably never going to be successful. Poor people always lack discipline. This is because success in any form comes from repetitive actions, which add up over time. Unless you can discipline yourself, you won't stand a chance. We're making a video every single day in order to maintain our momentum. This is not by accident. Discipline is one of the 15 traits that predict success in life. If you want us to do a video on this topic, please mention it in the comments.
The vehicle buying experience should be easy, hassle-free, and convenient. You don't need to spend hours filling out
Number 9. Entertainment. After sleep, this is the second thing people who want to get rich should sacrifice. There's no need for you to sit down and watch 10 seasons of Friends. There's no value there. Poor people always justify wasting time in one form or another. If you're just starting out, as we know most of you are, immediately cut out the low and medium levels of entertainment in your life. If you can't cut everything out, dose it and enjoy only the best types of entertainment so that it works as a reward. Unless you're a professional esports player, there's no need for you to be spending your time playing video games. There's no need for you to watch sports or TV for that matter. Unless you're the one on TV. There's no need for you to be on social media, unless you're running a media business. This is not a video on how to be happy in life. This is a video on what it takes to get rich. You need all your creative power and working hours to be put in and compounded into achieving your goal. You can't half-ass it because you're going to fail. A while back we did a video on 15 reasons why you're not happy. Click in the top right corner to watch it. It's filled with value. Number 10. Stability. Getting rich is a roller coaster. It will take a lot of ups and downs until you reach the destination. Stability gets sacrificed. You don't know what tomorrow holds, and you don't have the luxury of being at ease. You need to move yourself, to position yourself, to meet new people, to negotiate your own reality, and provide for yourself, since nobody's gonna go get it for you. If you believe your environment is keeping you from being successful, sacrifice it. Move somewhere else. You are in control of this ride. If it doesn't work out, you're the only one who is to blame. Although the journey is a roller coaster.
I'll do one more. Last one. Gotta sacrifice some sleep and shit, I guess. That's what you said. That's what you said. Heroes work. Here. Oh. I thought you said heroes work. I'm like, yeah. I do work. I am a hero. Work all day. Work all day. Nobody wants to work and I'm working 2 jobs. 2 jobs. Okay, about to be here. Where am I? Oh, my.
Turn left onto Bayard Road, then the destination is on your right.
Where the fuck can I park? Where the fuck can I park? Where the fuck? Where the fuck? Where the fuck can I park? Guess I could park right there. Where the fuck?
The destination is on your right. Arrived.
You will be towed without warning. Where the fuck do I park? This is stupid. I don't think there's any parking spaces here. Alright. Hi, this is your Grubhub driver. Are you in the apartment or one of the houses near this apartment complex?
It's the apartment complex, so there's like a cul-de-sac, right?
Yep, I'm in there. Okay.
Okay, cool. It's building 1. I don't know if you can see the lettering on the buildings.
Okay, what's your apartment number?
Apartment number 1. Can you see the numbers of the building? It's kind of dark. I can't make my way up there.
I might be able to find it. Oh, 2, 1, I think I see him. Yeah, I see him.
Yeah, I'll meet you there.
Okay, thanks.
Starting route. Head west on Bayard Road, then turn right onto Morwood Avenue.
The ride is worth it, so get busy. Number 11.
Turn right onto Morwood Avenue.
You might
then
not
turn
like to
right
hear
onto
this,
Center
but until
Avenue.
you make it big, you need to sacrifice your share of the income. You put it right back into the business or project until you make it. There's no other way. You're not going to be a baller while you're still pushing towards it. Every single dollar needs to be carefully planned where it would have the most impact to go towards, and usually yourself is pretty far down the list, unless you're going to use the money to develop your own set of skills. This is the reality. Whenever you see people flaunting their purchases without them being where they want to be in life, we just feel bad for them as they're actively sabotaging themselves. Number 12. Comfort. You've always asked us to tell the truth in our videos, and we always have. The luxury lifestyle, the big house, the luxury cars, the private jet, traveling all around the world in first class, that's the end result of years of living way below your means. Unless you're born rich, you'll have to struggle to get there, and sacrifices need to be made. The simplest way is to sacrifice comfort and use the cash difference to accelerate your growth. It's mind-boggling how many people blow away their money on meaningless things that they perceive as comfort. You don't need the new iPhone. Your old one still works perfectly. You don't need to live in a big house or apartment in your 20s. Cut down on rent and use the remaining cash somewhere productive. Poor people
Then
stay
turn right
poor
onto
by
Envoy
trying
Road.
to look rich, while rich people are busy getting richer by acting like they're poor. Many highly successful individuals
light,
refer to
turn
this
right
period
onto
as their
Envoy
ramen phase. It's the time when you cut down on comfort so much that you survive on the bare minimum. There's no need for comfort. Get yourself some
In a
ramen
quarter
noodles
mile,
and get
turn
to
right
work.
into the parking lot.
Number 13. The need to be liked. Statistically, disagreeable people are a lot more likely to become rich and successful than agreeable people. This is a fact, not an opinion. In order for people to like you, one needs to sacrifice oneself for the good of the other. That's how it works. At the end of the deal, who's seeing growth and who isn't? This doesn't mean you should become an asshole. It just means that you need to focus on yourself
past this
first
light,
and
then turn
sacrifice
right
the
into
need
the
to be
parking
liked
lot.
by others. If others will like you for who you are and what you're doing, that's fine, but you'll never go out of your way to make that happen.
Turn right.
Getting rich
then
is
arrive
about
at
getting
your
the job
destination.
done, not by being the most popular person in the room. Number 14. Pride. You do what you have to make it happen. If you're too proud to work at a fast food joint just to be able to feed yourself while during the night you work on your project, you'll never be able to make it. Pride is counterproductive. You don't need to think what other people will think of you, mostly because people will only care about themselves. You do you. Maintain focus on your goals, on your objective, and make your dream become a reality, not what others are expecting of you. Trust us when we say everybody respects the winner. You just have to get there first. Put your head down, sacrifice the pride you have, and make it happen for yourself and your future family. That's how you win. Number 15. Immediate desires. People are always seeking immediate gratification from even the slightest of efforts. Don't. That's what makes the difference between those who are going to make it and those who just want to portray the image that they are. If you stick to the plan, put in constant amounts of work and improvement, you are bound to see positive results. The process here is pretty linear. As soon as you get the first glimpse of success, it's easy to fall into the trap of congratulating yourself for the lap instead of focusing on winning the race. What usually happens while you're busy fulfilling immediate desires is you stray off course and end up with that small win as your highest point. You want to win small or you want to win big? Stay focused, Aluxers. Now, this was a difficult video to put together, filled with things that you probably didn't want to hear, but these are the current rules of the game of money. You were probably hoping for an easy fix, how to get richer, whatever. The truth is that people who do make it to that level are highly intelligent individuals who are driven, disciplined, focused, and sacrifice almost everything for their career or journey. The expense for the success you seek is a great one, so think twice if you really want it and what you're willing to do to achieve it. If not for anything, rewatch this video and see how you can improve yourself at least by a little in some of these aspects in order to get closer to your financial goals. We really hope you'll be able to see the value in this video, and if you do, share it with someone who's got the same mindset as you do. What do you think, Aluxers? Is getting rich and living the lifestyle you want worth all of these sacrifices? Let us know in the comments. And you know we've got a bonus fact for you for watching until the end, right? Here it is. Number 16. These sacrifices are short-term versus long-term rewards. After looking at this list, you might think, who in their right mind would sacrifice their family just for money? In order for the video to not be wrongfully interpreted, we want to make this clear. You can have everything. You can have the loving family, the close group of friends, a healthy lifestyle, the social status, and the comfort you want. You just need to postpone them by a couple of years. The alternative is living an unfulfilled life, a life cursed by the question of what if, and trying to justify other people's hard work as luck or good fortune. These are the realities of what it takes to get it all. Work hard when they won't, so you can enjoy the life they can't. It's always amazing to see how many people fail to watch even this video until the end. If you did, please write "I want it all" in the comments, just to keep track of who the real Aluxers are. As always, we'll make sure to reply. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxers. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpicked these videos, which we recommend you watch next. Thank you for being an Alexer, and we'll see you back tomorrow. Get it?
I get it! I get it!
You already understand BTC and you're already using Coinbase, but you're struggling to wrap your head around ETH, DeFi, NFTs, and the rest of this.
You're not successful yet, or at least not to the degree you really want to be. By the end of this Sunday motivational. Number 13. Nobody knows who you are and what you do. Let's be honest, no matter how good you think you are as a product or service provider, if nobody knows who you are, they won't be able to buy from you or give you the credit you deserve. It doesn't matter if you're the smartest person to ever live. If you spend your entire life in a cave not sharing your knowledge with the world, it's all in vain. Hello Alexers and welcome back. Squid Game is still on the rise and going strong, gaining global recognition like no other TV show, with its original premise and lethal children's games. With a twisted plot and compelling characters, each episode of Squid Game contains several life lessons that we found valuable.
Arrived.
So of course we've got to share them with you, but heads up, there's definitely a few spoilers coming, so if you haven't watched it yet but you plan on it, don't say we didn't warn you. Here are 10 lessons from Squid Game. Let's go. Number 1. When rich people have too much money, they get bored. Larry Ellison once said in an interview that he's kind of bored and there's nothing left for him to buy. He's splurged on jets, yachts, sports teams, thousands of art pieces, plenty of real estate all over the world, including houses, buildings, palaces, doomsday bunkers, and even entire islands. In this show, when you combine money, affluence, and a total disregard for human lives, you get a threatening survival competition, the Squid Game. Here, a bunch of rich people decided to kill their boredom by taking it to the next level and playing God with the lives of thousands of people without any shred of accountability for their actions. It's all an allegory for modern capitalist society. Thankfully, the real thing isn't as violent. Number 2. The choices we make in life determine our future. Red light, stop. Green light, go. Mechanic, blue collar. CEO, white collar. Single life, freedom and independence. Relationship life, love and commitment. Every single day we make life-altering choices, whether we're aware of them or not. And all of the Squid Game participants make one such choice the moment they agree to play the Dokji game with a mysterious, handsome stranger. Red tile, guard. Blue tile, player. None of them knew what they were getting themselves into, but they would soon find out that their greed and desperation sentenced them to a life-threatening game. Every choice is important. Never forget that. Number 3. Slow down. We can all agree on one thing. Constantly rushing through life isn't an effective way to live. In the Squid Game, this analogy is made crushingly clear as player after player pays the ultimate price for rushing ahead. The first game of Red Light, Green Light proved this right from the start. Proceed with caution if you want to outlast, and most importantly, don't panic. As soon as the first player missteps and experiences the consequence, players begin to panic and even more lives are lost in the chaos. Slowing down and keeping your cool can get you a lot further than you think. Number 4. Kindness comes back to you. Within the show is a strong focus on the importance of being kind to each other, no matter what state you're in or what status they may or may not have. Gi-hun treats the old man Il-nam with kindness, including him in the games and acknowledging him. Even though he didn't seem to like Se-byok at first, Gi-hun still offered her kindness when it mattered. His outlook of seeing these characters as friends first before competition is a light of hope in an otherwise dark drama they're all trapped in. The kindness pays off, like kindness always does, and it finds a way to bless the giver even more. Number 5. Brains can be a better asset than bronze when it's put to good use. Physical strength is nothing without strategy. In the tug-of-war game, Gi-hun's team is unequally paired with a team of strong young men. Despite being outmatched, his team manages to work out 2 ways to trip up their opponents during the game. Strategy and teamwork won the game, not just strength. Number 6. Be careful who you trust. Ali was proof that only being nice won't get you very far in life. That's the way human nature works. Of all the treachery and betrayal that happens in Squid Game, disgraced banker Cho Sang-woo's betrayal of Ali, the Pakistani worker, was the most gut-wrenching. We have to remember that some people will exploit your kindness for their own selfish reasons.
Hi, I have a Grubhub for Krista.
Okay, is that the only one you have?
Yep.
Okay, check the info round.
Thanks.
Reasons just because they can. Unfortunately, the world is full of people like this. That's why it's so important to be a source of good in the world, and the best way to do that is to strive for personal growth. Learn what's holding you back by checking out another one of our videos next. 10 toxic beliefs that keep you from growing.
So you can play this crane and you can win anything. Whenever I catch here, it actually comes and delivers to the house.
You got it. I don't need to like go anywhere and get it. Like it comes to me just from playing the game.
I have to catch a crane. Alrighty, so I press play, and then there's a claw. No, not a claw. I have to try this one. Oh my god! Okay. Yes! This is actually fun.
Yes!
Now I think I'm going to catch it, but I actually got it. Oh, this is so cute!
Number 7. The yin-yang factor. In ancient Chinese philosophy, the yin-yang is a concept of dualism, of how opposite forces are interconnected and interdependent in the natural world and in us humans. As you guessed it, we have this dualism in the show as well. We have balance, Song Gi-hun. We have the bad in the good, Cho Sang-woo. We have the good...
Starting route. Proceed to Bomb Boulevard, then turn left.
Thank you.
Turn left. In half a mile, turn left onto Morwood Avenue.
Good in the bad, Oh Il-nam. We have the good, Ali. And we have the bad, Jang Dok-soo. And if annoying was a human, we have Han Min-yo. Number 8. Greed and desperation brings out the worst in people. The slow burn of Sang-woo's vicious side shows the worst side of us, the side that greed and desperation reveal. He pushes fellow players to their death in the penultimate game. Before the final game begins, he murders the injured and defenseless Se-byok. Even Gi-hun is tempted to set aside his morals in his desperation. He makes use of Il-nam's unfortunate memory loss to trick him to win their game of marbles. It's easy to think you'll never have to compromise your morals like this, but the only surefire way to avoid it is to ensure you don't expose yourself to such a desperate situation by making sure your wealth and health are secure. Number 9. Don't lose hope in humanity. Overall, the inhumanity on display in the series is hard to stomach and still walk away feeling hopeful for anything. But if you think about it, the final confrontation between Ilnam and
Hey, got it on stream, jackass, that you just went through a fucking red light.
Go past this light. Then at the next one, turn left.
On the street before midnight. Hope is restored when people do come to help the man, showing Gi-hun that there is good left in the world. In turn, this
At the light,
inspires him
turn
to
left
fulfill
onto
his
Morwood
promise to
Avenue.
look out
Let's
for
get
his
nice and close to that
take
license
down the
plate.
game. Life can seem really harsh, but there's always a reason for hope. Sometimes it just requires a shift in
L613305.
perspective if you can't see the light. Number 10. After you win your current game in life,
Stay
you
in the
can
left
alter
lane.
picture and choose a new path. If you guys remember, Song Ki-hun dyed his hair red at the end of the season.
In
making
half a
statement
mile,
that
turn
his
right
eyes
onto
were
Fifth
open
Avenue.
And he was ready to take responsibility for his life and choices. Red is a power play in Korea, a masculine dominant color. And if you're associated with this color, it sends a message that you mean business and you're one badass SOB. Whether you signal it loud and proud about your new path, or are keeping your cards close to the chest, you're the one calling the shots. Always pick your path wisely. And Aluxers, that's a wrap on Squid Game's most valuable lessons, but there are definitely more, and we're hoping you could help us out with that. What valuable lessons did you pick up from the show? Did anything really make you think long and hard about life? Join the conversation in the comments, and we'll be right there with you. And if you stuck around waiting for a bonus, oh gosh, you just know us so well. Today's bonus is Addiction is Real. One thing all the Squid Game players had in
At the
common
next
is
light,
that they are
turn right.
heavily debt-ridden. Addiction has real consequences, and Gi-hun is paying the price for his gambling addiction. He's in debt, virtually estranged from his child, and unable to help his sick mother. His only option is to put his life on the line and try to win some money through joining
At the
game.
light, turn right
He's in
onto
such
Fifth
a
Avenue.
bad place that even after the first game ends in a massacre, he's still forced to return trying to win the money. Addiction is something that can be easily shrugged off or misunderstood, but in reality, it's something that should always be taken seriously. There's no shame in seeking help or
1.1 miles,
treatment.
turn
In
left
fact,
onto
it
Mickey
shows
Place.
nothing but pure strength. Take care of yourself and those you love, Aluxers. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Presenting Kia's lineup of exceptionally capable, available all-wheel drive SUVs, backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Lease a new 2022 Celta.
Watch this before watching the series, haha. Watch this
Hello,
one.
Aluxers, and welcome back to the Sunday Motivational video. Everything good in your life will happen as a result of taking a risk to get it. There's no return without paying the price, and the price is taking the risk of failure. As a baby, you need to risk falling if you're going to learn how to walk. We follow that same trajectory through life and business. Those who are unwilling to take the risk face an unfulfilled and mediocre life. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding on what are the
In half a mile, turn left onto Mickey
take
Place.
if you want to get everything you want in life. As a golden rule in life, if the reward is bigger than the risk, always take the risk. See what happens. And with that as our cornerstone, let's get started.
Unless you get
Welcome to
screwed.
alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you're not subscribed yet, you're missing out. Number 1. Risk getting incredibly wealthy. If you're under the age of 35, you get 1 or 2 big swings at an extraordinary life. This happens because you have little to no downside. There's no one depending on you. This is by far the most important piece of advice you can get as a young person. Take big risks. You want to hear something that will outrage the close-minded people? Everyone who actually wants to be rich can become rich. Absolutely. There are over 50 million millionaires and thousands of new billionaires. We're soon going to have our first trillionaire. There's no limit on the wealth you can get in this life. And honestly, the sooner you solve the money issue in life, the better. When it comes to both life and financial risks, if you don't play the risk game while you're young, you're going to play the blame game while you're old. Number 2, risk getting the person of your dreams. Risk putting yourself out there. Risk telling people how you feel. Go for the perfect 10. Build the life you always wanted to build next to the right person. There's a risk in settling for what's easy and available. Most people are unhappy in their choice of life partners, and this is the sole result of being scared to take the risk of finding the right one. For them, the risk of ending up alone is greater than the perceived return of an amazing spouse. Long term, their insecurity
Turn right
only
onto Wheeler
grows,
Way,
resulting in
then
troubled
turn left onto
households
Halkett
and
Street.
poor parenting. It's the mindset and the soul of the person that's going to go the distance, not the money or the good looks. Number 3, risk ridicule in exchange for making your dreams come true. Criticism and ridicule are part of the process. Think of it as the cost of entry to the joyride that is a good life. Who cares if they don't like you? You don't like them. People are intimidated by those who go after it. They're scared of seeing other people succeed because it serves as proof that success is achievable. Their only hope is to intimidate you into giving up on your dreams so you don't get the chance to prove them wrong. The risk fades away when you realize that these people are irrelevant to your journey, even if they're part of your inner circle and their words might hurt.
Most people just see the end product, but we see pros, do-it-yourselfers, builders
Turn
and
right onto
creators.
Iroquois Way.
We see the
Turn left onto Halkett Street.
This seems wrong.
Proceed to the route.
for everyone at the lowest prices.
What's inside Airborne? A blast of immune support that's
Turn right
just
onto
vitamin C. It's a unique crafted blend with zinc and other vitamins, minerals, and herbs. Seize today with Airborne, the #1 immune support gummy and effervescent brand.
At the stop sign,
Number
turn right
4,
onto Mesa Street.
risk dropping
Then
out
turn
or
right
quitting
onto
to
Halkett
start
Street.
your own business. Here's a golden nugget that's going to change your life forever. It's called the simulated outcome theory. Here's how it works. Look at the way your life is going right now and imagine doing what you're doing for the next 10 years. What
Turn
does your
right
life
onto
look
Halkett
like
Street.
if you progress
Then
in a
turn
linear
left.
fashion? If you're happy with the result, keep doing what you're doing. But what if you realize this future sucks? Then a brutal change to your timeline needs to happen. Become a variant. That's when you drop out or quit your job in order to start living life on your terms. You end up working longer hours.
Turn
but you
left,
have
then
this
arrive at your
satisfaction that
destination.
You're building for yourself. For as long as you live, you need to remember, if you don't build your own dreams, someone else will hire you to build theirs. Number 5, risk investing in yourself. People complain that investing in yourself is expensive, but what
Arrive
the
at
hell
your
is the
destination.
alternative? What is there to
Arrived.
invest in that gives you a better ROI than, well, you? If you're unable to at least invest in yourself where you can control the outcome, how do you expect any other investment to work out? This is a wake-up call. Treat your investment in yourself the same way venture capital works. Some will be shit, some will be okay, but 2 of them will be life-changing.
Where the fuck do I park once again? Where the fuck would I park? Hi, this is your Grubhub driver. I'm out front. Hello?
Please leave your message for
Hi, this is your Grubhub driver. I'm out front.
Okay, I'll be down.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Time to go home. I'm going home. I hope it's kind of close. It's sort of close, but not really. Better than I thought it would be, though.
Starting route to home. Proceed to Halkett Street, then turn right. Turn right. Turn left onto Halkett Street. At the light, turn right onto Forbes Avenue.
We've read hundreds of bad books before finding a few that worked well for us. We've spent tens of thousands of dollars going to events,
In 1.1 miles, turn left onto Norwood Avenue.
and meetups in order to compound our knowledge and build a network that would eventually become partners in future investments. Our mission here at ALUX is to bring
Stay in the left 2 lanes.
expensive lessons and advice to everyone around the world for free. That's why so many people subscribe to us, and if you haven't, we encourage you to support our journey as well. Ask yourself, what percentage of your income do you reinvest in yourself? We're not talking about your comforts, but in your skill set, your knowledge, and your tools of the trade. If you're spending less than 5% on you, it might be a good time to reevaluate your priorities. A good place to start is at courses.alux.com. All of our courses are designed around skills that keep compounding for the rest of your life. What you'd normally spend thousands of dollars for, we've curated, optimized, and delivered for a fraction of the cost. We reinvest everything into making our mission a reality. The brutal truth is, your life is cheap because you think investing in yourself is expensive. Number 6. Risk starting over. Even if you're starting from scratch, even if it's a new place, even if you don't know anybody, even if no one supports you, risk starting over. It'll be scary because it's always scary when you venture into the unknown. But you see, darkness is the mere absence of light. The moment you overcome your fear, you begin to generate light into the darkness of your world. The more you do and learn, the brighter you shine. Deep down, we're all scared of our luminosity, but it's a necessary part of success. You might be thinking it's easy to say this when we don't know your story, but we actually know you because we've been you, and we've seen your story in other people as well. Every single one of us is manifesting against realities we do not like and choose
Stay in the
to
right
go
2
that way.
lanes.
So trust that you can do it as well. It might not be obvious to you at the moment, but if starting over is your objective, the road will reveal itself to you. We want to leave you with this. If you see nothing around you but walls, start building a door by knocking some down.
If we're gonna figure out who framed Hodges, we have to pick up the pace.
You were a party to criminal malfeasance.
Reputation is big. When you lose it, it's hard to get it back.
A new CSI Vegas, Wednesday on CBS and streaming on Paramount.
Number 7. Risk being honest with yourself and with everyone else. You have to be honest. The alternative is to be a liar, and history has been unkind to liars, even the pretty ones. Dishonesty is just the delay of the truth, but with worse repercussions. Stop saying things you don't mean. Stop saying yes when you actually want to say no. Stop living a lie, and most importantly, stop lying to yourself. The only way up is to find the truth and build from it. There's a risk in judgment when telling the truth or showing your vulnerability, but every lie incurs a debt to the truth and a burden to carry with you for the rest of your life. Admit you need help. It takes some serious balls and dedication to improving yourself to be vulnerable like that. Number 8, take risks under your own name. This is one of the recent lessons that we've learned that has dramatically changed the way we approach risks. We're proud of the work that we do, and we want to be proud of the outcome. Always assume risk under your own
Go past this
name.
light.
Be accountable.
Then at the next
It's
one,
a risky
turn
move
left.
because if you fail, you're faced with the ridicule of those on the sidelines. But if you win everything. Everyone
At the
knows
light,
success
turn
is
left onto Norwood Avenue.
You made it happen. Too few people are accountable. Very few assume risk under their own name. But everyone we know that's done anything worthwhile
At the next
has
light,
put their
turn right.
face, name, reputation on the line. That's how greatness is built. Number 9. Risk being in the public eye. The evolution of the previous point is acting in the public eye. This
At
is
the
where
right,
everyone
turn right
begins
onto
to
Fifth
look at
Avenue.
you. There's a conflicting thing happening within each and every one of us. That one hand wants the world to acknowledge us. We want to be seen, but not looked at in detail or analyzed. And that's the paradox of fame. The better you are at what you do, the more fame comes your way. Fame is not the problem, but the celebrity status that comes with it. You want to be famous for what you do, but not become a celebrity. It took us years to understand that there's value in fame, in being in the public eye. It opens up doors for you that would have been closed otherwise. Not because you are not worth walking through them. but
In
the doorman
1.7
didn't know
miles,
about
turn
you.
right onto Penn Avenue.
Invest in your image. Assume risk under your own name. Say what you will do and do what you say, but don't get caught up in the whirlwind of status signaling. If you look in the mirror and see a label on your forehead, your descent has already begun. Stay humble, but do phenomenal work. Number 10. Risk going against the consensus and be right. This is a straightforward path to massive success in life. The more you think about it, the more you realize it's true. If you want to be successful in life, you have to go against the consensus, what everybody else thinks, and be right. People will tell you that something is impossible. They'll tell you to not even try because it wouldn't work. You're not good enough, smart enough, talented enough, not born in the right country, not born with the right parents, skin color, gender, or simply that nobody else was able to do it. The thing is, everything is impossible until someone does it. Our growing wealth is the result of ignoring everybody else and focusing on the process. We've said this before, but if we're living in a simulation, then self-belief is the cheat code to getting everything you want. Risk believing in your idea and following through. You'd be amazed by what you find at the end of the rainbow. Number 11. Risk bringing change to your inner circle and community. Whenever you introduce a new idea to any group of people, you'll get immediate pushback. Nobody likes change, but change is necessary for growth, for survival, for long-term happiness. They love the status quo. They love stability because stability doesn't require them to alter their behavior. I'm not getting killed by a lion doing what I'm doing right now, so why do you ask me to change? Who knows what dangers lie in the darkness of the unknown? But it's thanks to the people who
In
don't
1 mile,
listen to the
turn
masses
right onto
who
Penn
are
Avenue.
keen on optimizing life for efficiency, comfort, and progress. It's only after you've changed their life that people figure out what kind of impact you actually had. This is why so many artists, inventors, and creators are more often appreciated posthumously. Number 12. You risk being yourself when everyone wants you to be someone else. Who are you? You're more than your clothes, the things you buy, the home you live in. You're more than what your parents taught you when you were 7 years old. You are more than the trauma you suffered growing up. You're an individual. You're separate from everything else. You're not what your uncle thinks you are or should be. You're not what your parents wish you were. You're not what your friends see you as. You're not even all of those things combined. You are an ever-changing identity that absorbs what it needs and finds useful in order to craft itself out of pure chaos. The moment you realize how short life is and how meaningless the expectations of others are in terms of real impact on your existence, the second phase of your life begins. That of finding out who the hell you are and then living as that person. Risk being yourselves, Aluxers. Life is too damn short to go through it pretending that you're somebody else. Number 13. Risk finding your true limits. Want to know the brutal truth? Most people quit at 40% of their ability. As humans, we fail to understand our true limits because our mind and body is designed to shelter us from harm and into comfort as quickly as possible. Most people go through life never knowing what they can do. They choose to underperform, doing the universe a big disservice. You were put on this planet to find out what you're capable of. Going to the grave without discovering that is just wasted potential. Why are you scared?
Go past this light.
What did you
Then at the
quit
next
before
one,
reaching
turn
your
right.
limits? Why don't you test yourself and see how far you can go? Something extraordinary happens if you do. You find the truth. You find where your ability stands at this point in your life. You have a clear benchmark. From work to life to relationships, go the extra mile and make them extraordinary. For the man who risks finding his own limits, the world opens up with limitless opportunities. Number 14.
Presenting Kia's turbo-infused Sport Tune GT lineup, backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
At the light, turn right onto
Having your own metrics for success. Here's the paradox of success. Success is a self-fulfilling game. The only real way to win is to decide that you've won the game. Otherwise, you'll be in constant pursuit of something that you'll never catch
I've
up
already
with.
won.
Even if you achieve what other people consider success, if it's not your own consideration, you won't feel like you've made any progress in life. This is how people end up hating their lives despite having a high-profile job or making a lot of money. If it doesn't meet your own metrics for success, you will feel like a failure, like you could have done more or been happier doing something else. People will judge you based on their own metrics, but please note that you're under no obligation to live by them. Risk having your own metrics. That's what the phrase "you do you" actually means. Number 15. Risk a bad meal to find the magical one. Tony Bourdain said that, and it stuck with us. We know you weren't expecting a food reference at this point in the talk, but it's actually a deep metaphor for life. You have to risk going through the bad in order to find the exceptional. You don't know where the magic is in life, but it won't find you. You have to go looking for it. Look everywhere you think you might be able to find it. Most will be disappointed, but once in a while you'll stumble upon something that made the entire search worth it. These are the life-changing pieces of the puzzle that makes up your existence. Do you know why this is true? Because unearned prizes bear no value. In a screwed up way, the bad justifies you being deserving of the good. You truly appreciate a good meal if you've eaten some shit for a while. You really appreciate a good job if you've been working miserable ones for the past few years. You will never take for granted a loyal partner if your previous one tore your heart to shreds. If you want to win this freaking game, you have to embrace the risk. You won't get many chances. Time has picked up speed.
Damn, this video is good. They did a good one on this
one. Few years will go by in the blink of an eye. Don't regret it. Embrace risk. We know that at some point in your past you did, and because of it, your life is now better. Share that story with us in the comments. When was the last time you took a risk and it worked out? Allow other people to learn from your journey, and maybe you'll learn something from theirs. Now, you know what time it is. You stuck with us until the end. Here's your bonus. Don't risk the long term for the short term. Every time you sacrifice the long term for the short term, it'll backfire and result in sustaining unhappiness. This rule spares no one, and it applies to every aspect of your life. The moment the short-term endorphins fade away, the realization comes to the forefront. From the little things like unhealthy food habits to cheaters or criminals, the long-term is a lot more expensive than the short-term, and the payment method is quite different. It will haunt you as that part never goes away. It becomes part of who you are. That's life for you. You cannot rewrite the past. So be careful with where you deploy risk. We encourage you to always risk the short-term for the long-term, not the other way around. It'll be the crucial difference between getting what you want and not getting anything at all. It was a pleasure for us to work on today's piece, as it's one of those cornerstones of an incredible existence. It's the type of work that we ourselves have to revisit when life doesn't seem to go right. Save this video, share it with your friends, and rewatch it at least once a year, for the lessons here are easy to forget. And if you do so, you'll find that every time you rewatch or listen to it, you'll hear something new because it'll hit differently. If you're finally ready to take a big risk in life, please write the word risk in the comments of this video.
Good shit, period. This video hit on a whole nother level.
Troubling state of YouTube right now, but it gives us a reason to smile when we see how many true A-Luxers benefit from our videos. We tip our proverbial hat to you. The purpose of wealth. 1. Freedom. We will discuss the topic of wealth in the depth that it requires.
Continue on to Ardmore Boulevard.
Great differences between the terms wealth, money, and your position in the social hierarchy. Out of all three of them,
In
wealth is the
8.1
one you
miles,
should
turn
go
right
after.
onto Glendale
The
Drive.
fundamental reason why most people want to build wealth in life is freedom, but even freedom takes multiple forms. Today we'll discuss the idea of wealth as a facilitator of different kinds of freedom. Money and wealth are very different. Money is what you earn in exchange for your time and work, while wealth is the fortune that grows outside of your direct input. Wealth is making money while you sleep. Wealth continues to grow even if you decide to take a sick day. The same cannot be said for money. Even if you earn a lot of money, one can still have money problems. The most direct type of freedom wealth solves is welcome to alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. If you're not subscribed yet, you're missing out. Freedom from money problems. The debate on whether or not money can make you happy is still going, but one thing is for certain: a lack of money will make you unhappy. Much of our unhappiness comes from our inability to go through life comfortably and unstressed. Most people will never be financially free. They'll never escape money problems. Most people will work several jobs for 40 to 50 years and at the end hope that they've been able to acquire enough all these years to keep them going until the day they eventually die. Many people struggle financially until the very end, with the debt being passed on to their children. Wealth solves this problem as long as you don't screw around with it. The house in which you live is not wealthy because it requires you to go out into the marketplace and trade your time in order to pay for the mortgage or utilities. The moment you distance yourself from it and rent it out to someone else, that is when a house goes from a liability to an asset, and wealth is made out of value-generating assets. The notion of escaping money problems through money-generating assets is nothing new, but every generation has their own version of a wealth-building protocol. If back in the day a cow was the go-to asset, it's because it gave milk and milk could be sold if you chose to. The wealth of an individual was determined by how many cows, sheep, and chickens they had. The fundamental money problems are food and shelter. A person becomes free once their income from wealth crosses the threshold of food and shelter. Then you have to expand it so that the wealth can take care of the entire family and make tomorrow predictable from a money problems perspective. A person cannot afford the luxury to work on their mental state if their children have nothing to eat. The purpose of wealth is to free the individual from money problems. Food taken care of, bills taken care of. The future is predictable enough to feel safe going into tomorrow because you have enough wealth to give yourself a fighting chance. Which brings us to the next type of freedom that wealth facilitates. Freedom to try and fail. Wealth is determined by how many times you can afford to fail and still be fine. It's a luxury combined from timing, money, and mental fortitude. If you're 23 years old, no family, and minimal overall expenses, you can start and fail multiple times. But what if you're 40 years old with a family of 2 children where a family needs your salary to survive? Can you afford to quit your job and work for the next 5 years on your startup without pay? Probably not. This is one of those incredible advantages people born into wealthy families have, and although everyone dislikes the kids of the rich because they didn't do anything to deserve the privileged situation they find themselves in, deep down we're all hypocrites because we wish our children had access to the best possible tools to maximize their
Stay in the
potential.
left 2 lanes.
Wealth allows you the privilege of being able to fail no matter who you are. Maybe you spent the first decade of your life working hard to build a company and through it your wealth, but one of your passions has always been painting or movie making. Because you were able to build wealth first, you can afford to pursue painting or making movies for the next 10 years, because even if it doesn't work out, you're still gonna be fine. This is the main reason why you have to solve the wealth problem first. There's a very smart saying from, I believe, Nassim Taleb, who says, if you want to be a philosopher king, first become a king and then be a philosopher, not the other way around. The purpose of wealth is for you to have that safety net that allows you to try the things that you find interesting, because we are very complex creatures that are forced by the environment into tiny boxes, all in the hopes of efficiency and increased productivity, which once again brings us to the next type.
The magic is calling you to a celebration 50 years in the making, where the world you love shine like never before.
The freedom that wealth allows you to go after. The freedom to explore. We are multivariant individuals, yet society is forcing you to pick what you want to be in life from a very early age. How many of you remember being children and all the adults asking you, what do you want to be when you grow up? Many of them living lives they haven't selected for themselves. Most people don't know who they are because they can't afford the luxury of finding out. We don't know how to be happy because we never take the time to find out what makes us happy, or fulfilled for that matter. In order to find your thing, you have to be able to first try many things and select the one that interests you the most. And it doesn't stop there, because what interests you in one period of your life might not maintain said interest later
Why
on.
is it everybody who
This should
drives a
come
pickup truck
naturally
is an
as you
asshole?
evolve and develop an appetite for growth. One of the most important purposes of wealth is allowing you the luxury to explore and better understand yourself and the world which you're shaping. The more you learn about it, the more you become a part of it. There are things out there that would fascinate you for the next decade that you don't even know about because you didn't get the opportunity to explore the unknown deep enough to find it. Yet most of us know that there is this thing out there because we can feel it. We're curious beings by nature, and we're curious to learn what makes us feel things. Mix the freedom to explore with the idea that tomorrow is taken care of, and you end up with a special type of freedom. The freedom to pursue passions. This type of freedom is an extremely interesting one because it's not done for monetary gain. You don't go fishing to make money, you don't play video games, build ships in a bottle, or spend time with your pet for profit. You do it because it makes you feel good inside. Passions require time, and we know time is valuable. Passions require money, and money requires time to make money. This is the true underlying purpose of wealth, creating time for things that you want to do and not have to do. True wealth is being able to choose where your time goes. Life should be lived passionately, yet so many people forego their passions because they don't fit with the demands of a busy society. But without passions, one can never be happy. Although passions are not a necessity for survival, they are a necessity for a well-lived life, which is why so many fall short. The purpose of wealth is to allow your passions to craft an enjoyable existence for you. Actually, it's beyond that. The purpose of wealth is to allow you the freedom to be who you want to be and not what they expect you to be. And now, the final freedom we'll discuss today is the freedom from self and society. So what do we mean when we say freedom from self? There's this little voice in your head that you probably know very well that keeps trying to push you in a direction. Although it's coming from within you, it's not your words the voice is speaking, but the words of everyone that you've met. It's the voice of society. The voice wants you to get a safe job, to settle down, to fit. It says so, even though you've yet to shape yourself properly. The way society makes people fit is by crushing them into the empty hole it finds in the immediate vicinity of the individual. This is why most people's entire lives are wrapped up in the immediate environment. You've met your partner in a 30-minute radius from where you live. You found your job in the same area, and now you own a suboptimal apartment there. But it's all rather convenient for your current lifestyle. There are two selves within us. There is the true self, the one where if every door was open for us, we would eventually become them. And then there's another identity dictated by what we think society wants us to be. Wealth allows you to put distance between your reality and that pestering voice. True wealth is making peace with your mind, being free of that voice, of the worries it brings with everything else. It allows you to not feel the need to impress people, to not play pretend for status games. Wealth allows you to be happy with who you are and change if that's what one desires. Who and what we are should be in constant change. We're not puzzle pieces meant to be inserted in specific gaps to fill in someone else's picture. We're more like colors that can go on a canvas. The purpose of wealth is to allow you to become the painter with said colors, whatever you want, without feeling the need to get the approval of others just for the pleasure of painting. But you know, wealth has other purposes than just freedom. Freedom to do nothing productively. One of the biggest problems people have in their lives is they don't know how to be alone, silent, and enjoy the moment. It's almost an art form. We're growing in a society where people used to signal to others, "Look how busy I am," as a way of playing status games. I'm busier than you, so that must mean I'm better than you, which couldn't be further from the truth. There's an old story we'd like to share with you that goes like this. A young entrepreneur was walking on the bank of a river one day when he met an old fisherman under a tree. Some of you might already know this story, but we'll share it anyway.
Turn right onto
The young
Glendale
hustler
Drive.
approached the fisherman and asked him how much fish does he catch in a day. The old man replied he doesn't really care how much fish he catches. The young entrepreneur proceeded to optimize the fisherman's life. If you catch more fish a day, you can sell the excess at the market and use the money to buy another fishing line. And then what? The fisherman replied. Then with all the excess fish you're catching, you could keep on selling it until you buy a boat. And then what? The fisherman replied. Then, using the boat, you can catch even bigger fish that will sell for even more money. And then what? The fisherman replied once again. Then you use that money to buy multiple boats, hire a bunch of people, and now you have an amazing fishing business. And then what? The fisherman calmly replied. Then, one day when the business is big enough, you could sell it to someone else and make a lot of money. And then what? The fisherman replied with a smile on his aging face. Then you could spend your whole day fishing and never having to worry about... And that's when the young man goes quiet. It's one of our favorite stories because many times in life we feel that other people are missing the point. If you solve wealth early on, if you do it smart, everything else won't look like you're doing much to anyone watching because they are conditioned to think that way. We want you to solve wealth this decade, Aluxers. Make it your priority to do so. Make it your purpose, and then use it to be free. Purpose of wealth. 2. Security. Since our earliest days, the ones that survive...
The Bali's just so special. It was the time that all of our family came together. We got to dress up, we got presents.
The storm carried their genes forward, and in time, we understood just how important shelter and survival are. Every living being out there wants survival for themselves and for their offspring, with most being willing to sacrifice themselves as a last layer of protection for the new generation. Today, we'll discuss the role of wealth in this process of survival and protection. The first one we'll cover is also the most obvious one: physical security, where through wealth, one can directly protect the health of those sitting.
Alright, had a fun stream, very productive, made a lot of money. Gonna chillax and go to sleep and do it all over again. Alrighty, bye-bye. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace. Love the way I say my outro with my retainers in.